All right, guys, today we are going to be reacting to my cozy 45 meters Russian apartment tour living in Soviet Khrushchevka. Some of you guys were saying that they have to turn on the Russian subtitle. I just don't know how to do that. I tried multiple times. It doesn't work. I don't know. Sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't work. Guys, I don't know. But we're going to react to this great video regarding Russia apartments. Let's jump in.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. Behind me is an old Khrushchevka building. That's exactly the type of building which the whole Russia and post-Soviet space is filled with. Those Khrushchevka buildings were built between 1950s and 1970s or 80s, if I'm not mistaken, and they were built in order to give houses to the people after war Soviet Union. Because they were very easy to build, the construction was very fast, but the apartments turned out to be very small. However, they were considered as a temporary solution and they were supposed to be demolished after and replaced with the better houses. But as you can see, they all are still standing, and many people throughout the whole Russia and other post-Soviet countries are still living in them.
Wow.
And so do I. I also currently live in Khrushchevka Apartment. And so today I decided to make you a little tour of my humble apartment. Don't judge too harsh, please. It's nothing special. It's very small but cozy and very loved apartment. Let's start the tour. The very good side about these Khrushchevka apartments is that they would always have this quite large courtyard in front of them where kids can play and their parents can watch them out of the windows. Every courtyard is pretty much the same. It's just now they placed a new kids attractions, but before that they were even filled with the same attractions. As you can see, they can be different colors though.
Graffiti. Always. Always a problem. Graffiti, stuff like that, always a problem.
We are inside the building. That's a typical stairs, post boxes, flowers on the window, some information letters.
Not to smoke again.
All right, we are entering the apartment. Here we have two doors for double protection.
Oh, that's nice.
The first door has a very strange lock.
Wow, that is a very strong mechanism of security. Look at that. That's literally securing you. Wow, look at that.
Something bulletproof, and it's all made of steel, so probably it's really bulletproof. The second door is more casual. I think it's a 90s thing to have two doors to protect yourself from burglars. Then we have a little hallway here. It's not big, it's little. Here you can hang your clothes. Here you have a doorbell. Here you put your shoes, regular things. Okay, this phone is also something from the past, when you need to use rotary. Yeah, we're keeping it because of grandma, because when someone's called, it's really loud, so she can hear it well. A quick break here, guys. I forgot to mention We are now currently in my grandma's apartment. That's because I just recently moved to Russia from Europe after living there for over 16 years, and I still don't have my own apartment now. I'm looking for it currently. And haven't found it yet, so my grandma generously let us crash here. I'm very grateful for this. But anyway, I was living in this very apartment since I was born and when I was little, when I was going to first grade of school. So I consider it my own apartment as well, even though probably my grandma doesn't share my sentiment. Anyway, now you know the whole situation, and let's continue with the tour. Yeah, we have a fridge in our hallway. That's because
That's the old school
I will
one.
show you later. Our kitchens here are very tiny and we need extra space. And we have a space here, so that's why we use it this way. Here, if you're interested, on the insides of the fridge, it's quite chaotic. I, to be honest, don't like it this way because
No, I mean it's not that bad. It's clean. It's organized. I mean, it could be you can organize it better. I agree with that, but it's very clean. So
it raises my anxiety. I don't know what is there, when it
Ooh,
will
that's open.
expire. I like to have minimalistic fridge organization,
Yep.
but since it's not my apartment, I don't really
Stay
have
away.
a word in this. And here is a freezer. Yeah, the true Russian freezer must have salo.
Bacon.
It's pork fat, salted and frozen. And of course, pelmeni. All right, from the hall, if we look to the left, we can see the kitchen, the
It's
bathroom.
so old school. Wow.
If we look straight, we can see the main room. That's where we're going now. And the first thing we see is a must-have for all the Soviet apartments. It's a display with the kitchenware, which you never use, maybe only for
Man,
celebration.
I remember going to my grandma's house, and her display was very similar. It seems like it was more like an old school way of just displaying your living room or your kitchen or your dining room. This is very interesting. Wow, it brought a lot of memories. My grandma used to have a very big, not a counter. It was more like a display like this, and they used to have all these like coffee cup mugs and stuff like that. Wow, it brought a lot of memories. Wow.
I remember my grandma using this for her birthdays, New Year's Eve, and so on. But I never saw her using this golden stuff. So probably it was never really used. Let's see if I can open it.
I don't think your grandma's gonna like it.
Okay, here it is. Yeah, that's really, really beautiful. I don't know if it's Chinese or it's Japanese actually.
Oh, good quality.
But what I can say is that it's here longer than I live. So it's standing here for over 30 years.
Wow.
Probably never used. Maybe she used it for some very, very big celebration, not sure. This one is more simple. I think she used it for something. And this is made in... Okay, never mind. All right, so yes, we have the display with these beautiful cups. And here we have the drawers where grandmas are keeping their secret stuff. Oops. I don't really want to go through all of them, just to show you a little. Okay, those I probably wouldn't be able to open. They have a lock. So yeah, and this tiny thing here, I remember it since I was little. This is actually I forgot the word for it in English, the thing which you used to water the flowers. And this little guy it's from Mongolia. That's because when my mom was little, the whole family went to Mongolia and lived there for a few years because my grandpa used to work there. Here is a huge TV. Which looks quite strange, pairing with this whole display from Soviet Union. Okay, here is a mess which my kid made. It's his table now. He makes his mess there. These chairs are also chairs which I remember since I was little. Yeah, they are even covered with something which looks like carpet. This one is not for some reason. And the couch is not that old. The lamp. And yeah, now it's summer. We have on the floor something which is called linoleum. I'm not sure how it's in English. But when it's winter, we would always spread this carpet here to keep it warmer and to make a sound isolation, because the walls here in these Khrushchevka apartments are very, very thin.
Really?
And yeah, you can hear your neighbors. And back when I was little as well, we also used to have a carpet on the wall. So we had it on the floor and on the wall.
I have to say,
the whole apartment.
her grandma's keeping that area nice and clean. I have to say, it looks nice, it looks organized, it looks clean. Wow.
And basically was covered in carpets. And they have very specific, I think it's Turkish carpets, and they have very specific, beautiful designs, you know, these little prints. So I spent hours and hours watching the prints, and then I would be able to memorize it. And it was like kind of hypnotic to watch them and, you know, meditate on them. A quick history break here. Even though those buildings are called Khrushchevka from the last name of one of our leaders, Khrushchev, he was not actually the one who designed or engineered them or suggested them. The guy who created the design of these buildings was actually a French architect, Le Corbusier. He was the one who came up with the design of these buildings and how they look now. Another thing is that those buildings were supposed to be temporary. The purpose of them was to rebuild the Russia quickly after the war, because there was a huge housing problems, people were struggling, and basically those tiny buildings solved the problem. Millions of Russians gained their home and were living there happily for so many years. But as I said, those buildings were supposed to be temporary solution, and they were supposed to be exchanged after the country would regain their economical power. But as we see, so many years later, they're still standing and they're still providing home for many.
I mean, if they're still good, just, you know, just is people are using them. I think that's fine. Like this lady right here, she's keeping hers nice, man. Like, this is not bad. This is very good.
Many Russians, especially in the provinces. They ended up to be really quality, strong buildings, which are still standing. And to be honest with you, on some level, I actually like these old Khrushchevka buildings, especially in comparison with what they built now. These huge living complexes for thousands of people, which probably have more spacious apartments, more beautiful ones. But I would honestly have an anxiety living in a place like this on 20-something floor. Yeah, that's not really what I would like to. If I would be buying my own apartment, I would probably like to buy private house. And until then, I think Khrushchevka will do just fine. All right.
So basically, she's being practical right now. She's just waiting for this to save some money. That way she can buy her little house. I think that's fair.
When we continue, we are entering the balcony.
new, right?
Now it turned into something which we called loggia. Loggia means that this balcony now is covered in glass. Because before it wasn't, it was just open balcony. You know, just you would come here and you would be on the street basically. But now everyone, as you can see, covered it in these plastic glasses and white plastic. So it will be another extra space and it will add warmth in the winter. Okay, what do we have on the balcony? Actually, my grandma's balcony is not that bad. She just have there some, I don't know, probably some foods, some grains.
What is that? Is that probably like snacks?
In case of emergency, you know, in case of war or something. And some stuff which she just uses occasionally for cleaning. But sometimes there is another balcony, is also quite empty, but sometimes, by the way, here it is, the balcony which is not covered. So my grandma's balcony was also looking like this before, and then we covered it. So yeah, as you can see, people keeping their winter slides, you know, things which you don't use often. See this huge tube which releases smoke in the air. It's basically a station which provides us heat for all the area, but unfortunately we have to breathe it. Okay, here if you see we have a net for mosquitoes because it's impossible in the summer in Siberia. There are so many guys, you would die, to be honest.
Yeah, mosquitoes are a problem everywhere. I don't know how would you tackle that. The mosquito here in Wisconsin during the summer, mosquitoes, man, they're everywhere, man. I don't know, it's just very uncomfortable to be in the summer. When it starts getting colder, that's when the mosquitoes start going down. So.
Yeah. Here you can see some
see mosquitoes right there.
grandmas walking downstairs. By the way, do you see these tiles? I don't know what is this thing with Russians and tiles in their yards.
We do that in Puerto Rico too. I mean, especially in the countryside, they used to do that. I don't know if they still do it.
The houses, but they always make something from them. Either these pots for flowers, or they even make some crazy fancy designs. But Russians for some reason like to use tiles to decorate their courtyards. Alright, so now we finish with the balcony and we are going to the second room. But before that, here as well you have a storage which you can use for various things. Yep. Okay, the second room is smaller than the first one. So normally back then in the larger room would be living the parents, mom and dad, and in this room would be living kid or kids. So here we have another fridge. It's not actually a fridge, it's a freezer.
Okay.
Freeze stuff, obviously, because we need to freeze more stuff. Yep.
Okay, that's interesting.
To have something prepared, you know, like frozen meat, frozen veggies, and so on. Here is some storage and some piece of art. Here is now my luggages, which I arrived with. They are not all, some of them are in our summer house. Excuse this pile of unironed stuff. But here you can see this is actually also something from the past. It's a sewing machine of my grandma.
Sewing machine,
you know?
Okay.
You know how to use it?
Wow.
I don't, to be honest. I just know that you need to turn this wheel.
Man, there's a lot of cool stuff in Russia, especially when it comes down to culture. They keep a lot of the stuff still lingering around. Wow, that's actually very impressive.
Somehow and press this button with your legs.
Yep. Oh, you do it with your foot, right? Like.
Then also here we have something from the Soviet Union, these bookshelves. You know, they would always put it this way, one on another, to save the space, I guess.
Vertical, you always,
Here,
always more space vertical, right? So you can, instead of getting horizontal, you always can optimize space by going vertical. So that's smart.
another bookshelves, which are modern with miscellaneous stuff.
Miscellaneous.
Here is a bed, which I'm sleeping on at the moment. Here's a huge wardrobe. You know, there is basically everything possible as well. The clothes, I guess all the clothes which are in the apartment are basically here almost. And here we have a writing table, another TV, and the window. Now those windows are changed. If you see, they
That's
changed
beautiful
to
view.
something what we call in Russia
That's very beautiful view. Look at that. Wow, that's an amazing view.
Euro windows or European windows or plastic windows. But before, back then, there were different type of a window. They were wooden with the glass, with the real glass. And here in the corner were a little opening window, which we called fortochka, to make a smaller ventilation, let's say. Okay, here is another courtyard. Another tiles.
More tires, yeah.
The birch tree, which I like to look at, just laying on this bed and look at the leaves of the birch tree moving on the wind. Here's another Khrushchevka building. Here how it looks from this angle. Now we are moving into the heart of any Russian or Soviet apartment, the kitchen. You would probably wonder why it's a heart, but I'll explain you. Even though it's tiny, it only have 5 square meters, it was always the place for Russians to gather together.
Yep.
And have some meaningful discussions, some heartwarming conversations. Usually it would happen in the evening when everyone is back from work and whatever they were doing. And they would warm some tea, put some cookies or sandwiches, which we call butterbrod, sit here and just have long conversations. And I don't know, there is something about it. Really, it seems like the best place in the apartment. Okay, here we have a dining table.
That's an old school toaster, wow.
With some toaster, which we don't use. Here we have regular stuff, the pot, the stove. Usually here inside of the stove, there is nothing now, but usually we store there different pots, also to save the space. Okay, here's some breakfast stuff, pots, microwave, calendar of my grandma. Here are plates and glasses and cups. Here is more plates and probably some coffee and stuff like this.
Nesquik. Wow, Nesquik, bro. I don't even remember when was the last time that I saw that brand, Nesquik. When I was a kid, I used to drink that so often. Wow, very often. Brought a lot of memories.
Here we have some grains, some pastas. And here more grains, some nuts, some chips, some little snacks. This is how my grandma stores salt. Some flowers.
Probably very good air coming in.
Also, we changed the windows, the good windows. All right, and finally here is the bathroom.
Very old school.
There is nothing very special here. Here we have a bathtub. All the stuff which you need. Here we have a washing machine,
Oh.
a dryer for the towels. And yeah, I guess it's pretty much it. Again, the kitchen is there. The hallway is there. The main room with the balcony. By the way, here the height from the floor till the ceiling is only 2.5 meters, which is quite small. But since the whole apartment is small, it seems quite proportional.
Very. I like her room.
Alright guys, I'll finish the video here. Thank you so much.
Very good, nice video. I like her room. Her room is very nice and organized. Very good. Somehow they make it happen. But hey, some of these apartments, they even look better than the projects that we have here in the United States. These are very nice. Very nice. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, guys. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.